How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Let me start by asking you a question. How many of you have ever wanted to be better at connecting with people, to make friends more easily, influence others positively, or just communicate more effectively? If you're human, the answer is probably yes. Because at the end of the day, no matter who we are, a student, a leader, a parent, a business person, our success and happiness depend on how well we get along with other people. And that's exactly what Dale Carnegie's timeless classic, How to Win Friends and Influence People, is all about. This isn't a book about manipulation or clever tricks. It's a book about understanding human nature, about learning how to bring out the best in others by being the best of ourselves. First published in 1936, it has sold over 30 million copies worldwide and continues to change lives. Why? Because the principles Carnegie taught are universal. Technology may evolve, but people, our emotions, our egos, our needs remain the same. So today, let's walk through the key lessons of this life-changing book. Lessons that can help us all become more influential, more respected, and ultimately, more likable human beings. Part 1, the foundation. Understanding people. Carnegie begins with one simple truth. When dealing with people, we are not dealing with creatures of logic, but creatures of emotion. Think about that. Most of the time, people don't act based on reason. They act based on how they feel. We all crave appreciation, respect, and understanding. We want to feel important, even if we don't admit it. And that's the key to influencing others. If you can make people feel genuinely valued, they'll respond with warmth, trust, and cooperation. But if you criticize, condemn, or complain, you immediately build resistance. Carnegie puts it bluntly, criticism is futile. It only makes people defensive and damages pride. Instead of judging, he says, try to understand. Ask yourself, why does this person act the way they do? When you see from their point of view, you open the door to compassion and cooperation. Part 2, 3 fundamental techniques in handling people. Carnegie offers 3 golden rules for dealing with people effectively. 1, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. It's so tempting to point out when someone's wrong, but it rarely helps. People don't blame themselves. They justify their behavior. So instead of criticizing, look for understanding. He gives an example of Al Capone, who saw himself not as a criminal, but as a misunderstood public benefactor. Even the worst people justify their actions in their own minds. So if you want to change behavior, don't criticize, guide gently. 2, give honest and sincere appreciation. Everyone wants to feel valued. Carnegie says, be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. That means appreciate others sincerely, not manipulatively. Notice the small things. Say thank you like you mean it. Recognize effort, not just achievement. Because when people feel appreciated, they perform better, they cooperate more, and they remember you kindly. 3, arouse in the other person an eager want. If you want someone to do something, show them how it benefits them, not you. As Carnegie says, the only way to influence people is to talk about what they want and show them how to get it. That's the essence of persuasion. Not pushing, but aligning interests. Part 3, 6 ways to make people like you. Now we move into what most people love about this book, the part about how to make people like you. Carnegie gives 6 timeless principles, simple but powerful. 1, become genuinely interested in other people. Everyone's favorite topic is themselves. If you show true curiosity about others, their dreams, their hobbies, their families, they'll naturally like you. Carnegie writes, "You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you." 2. Smile. It costs nothing, but it's incredibly powerful. A smile says, "I like you. I'm happy to see you." It warms the room before you even speak, and it's contagious. It changes how people feel about you and how you feel about yourself. 3. Remember that a person's name is, to that person, the sweetest sound in any language. It's true. We all light up when someone remembers our name. It shows that you value us as individuals. So make an effort to remember and use people's names. It's a small act that has a big emotional impact. 4. Be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Carnegie said, "If you want to be a good conversationalist, be an attentive listener." Most of us listen to reply, not to understand. But when you truly listen, when you ask follow-up questions and show genuine curiosity, you make others feel special, and that's magnetic. 5. Talk in terms of the other person's interests. Theodore Roosevelt was known for this. Before meeting anyone, he would study topics they cared about. Whether it was horses, boxing, or politics, he made sure he could connect on their level. People remember how you made them feel, not how smart you sounded. 6. Make the other person feel important, and do it sincerely. This might be the heart of the entire book. Carnegie says, "The deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated." So give that gift sincerely, generously, and without agenda. When you make others feel important, you elevate both them and yourself. Part 4, how to win people to your way of thinking. Now let's talk about influence. How do you get people to agree with you, or at least to see things your way? Carnegie offers several principles. 1. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Even if you win an argument, you often lose goodwill. People rarely change their minds when they're attacked. They dig in deeper. Instead of arguing, listen. Agree where you can, and gently guide the conversation toward common ground. 2. Show respect for the other person's opinions. Never say, "You're wrong." That phrase instantly shuts people down. Instead, say something like, "I may be wrong. I often am. Let's look at the facts together." That humility opens the door to real dialogue. 3. If you are wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. There's power in honesty. When you admit your mistakes openly, it disarms others. It builds trust, and it clears the air faster than excuses ever could. 4. Begin in a friendly way. Even tough conversations go smoother when you start with warmth. A smile, a compliment, or a gentle tone can change the entire direction of a discussion. 5. Let the other person do a great deal of the talking. People are more convinced by ideas they think are their own. Ask questions, let them explain. When people feel heard, they're more open to hearing you. 6. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Empathy is influence. When you say, "I understand how you feel," you're not necessarily agreeing, you're acknowledging their reality, and that earns respect. Part 5, be a leader. How to change people without offense or resentment. This final section is about leadership. How do you guide and correct others without hurting their pride or causing resentment? Carnegie's approach is deeply human. He believed leadership isn't about authority, It's about inspiration. Here are a few of his leadership principles. Begin with praise and honest appreciation. Start with what's right before addressing what's wrong. It builds trust and keeps morale high. Call attention to mistakes indirectly. Instead of blunt criticism, ask questions or suggest improvements gently. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing others. When you show humility, others are more open to feedback. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. It invites cooperation instead of obedience. Let the other person save face. Never embarrass someone, even when they're wrong. Protect their dignity. Praise every improvement. Carnegie said, "Praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement." People thrive on encouragement, not fear. Give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Tell someone they're reliable, talented, or capable, and they'll strive to prove you right. That's leadership through respect, not dominance. Part 6. The heart of Carnegie's philosophy. When you look at all these principles together, you realize something profound. Carnegie isn't just teaching techniques. He's teaching a mindset of empathy, humility, and genuine interest in others. He's saying, if you want to influence people, start by caring about them. If you want respect, give it first. If you want cooperation, show understanding. These ideas work not because they're manipulative, but because they're authentic. They align with the best parts of human nature, and they apply everywhere, in business, in families, in friendships, even in online interactions where empathy often gets lost. Conclusion. Let's wrap up with a few key reminders from how to win friends and influence people. Don't criticize or complain. Understand instead. Give sincere appreciation. Smile. Remember names. Listen more than you talk. Talk in terms of others' interests. Make others feel important, sincerely. Avoid arguments and admit mistakes quickly. Be kind. Be humble. Be curious. These aren't just social skills. They're life skills. And they don't just make people like you. They make you a better, happier, more compassionate human being. Dale Carnegie once said, "You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you." So if there's one thing to take away from this talk, it's this. The secret to winning friends and influencing people isn't charm or clever words or manipulation. It's genuine kindness. It's listening. It's treating people, every single person, as important, because they are. Like and subscribe to Leon Verse for more videos like this.